Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphanim. So we have a headline here: Tokyo-based crypto bar P2P adds Ripple XRP as payment method. We're seeing a lot of this around the world. The world is ready for cryptocurrencies. They're tired of the banking system. I mean, there's been so many problems with the banking system. I know you heard recently, there's been people having account issues. Oh man, and I told you that there's been so many security issues with the banks. People have been getting their identities stolen, bank runs, account freezes. You know, they just don't allow the people to take their destiny into their own hands, to take the power over their capital into their own hands, and people are just tired of it. They don't want that any longer. They don't want that anymore. And also, it's the information. There's a problem with information. So because there's not enough educational information on blockchain technologies, distributed ledger technologies as a whole, on the TV, on podcasts, on in the educational system, you know, schools of all levels, children and adults should be learning about these new technologies, both the positives and the negatives of them, right? So they can make a fair decision on their own. I think one of the issues today is that there is too much control over what people know and their perceptions. And it works both ways. You know, there's too much control over their perceptions, and then also there's not enough accountability on the part of the individual to take control over their own perceptions. They want a lot of people. I understand where they're coming from. Also, a lot of people are tired. A lot of people have stresses in lives. But if you take that particular stance, you're going to be given a perception, and that's very dangerous because then you can be controlled, like what the legacy system is attempting to do. There are much better ways to control your capital and build money and not let your fiat currency die in a savings account. Those savings accounts, you're losing value on the dollar. Their annual percentage yields are so low, it's ridiculous. It's unbelievable what they get away with. And then you look at where the dollar is heading. As I said before, this is not a joke. The dollar is in jeopardy. You know, we'll see what actually happens in the future, and hopefully, you know, policymakers can avoid some problems. But right now, it just doesn't seem like they want to do that. So, if ever the dollar has to go up against a fiat that's backed by gold, there's going to be a problem. In the rest of the world, I'm trying to ring the alarm bell each video, and you know, so many people are not really hearing the warnings. But the rest of the world is tired of dollar domination. You cannot think that burgeoning economies and world leaders of all different kinds, whether you like them or not, that they want to be controlled. You can't. There's always going to be a facet of society, of the world, that does not want to be controlled. They want to map out their own destiny. And we have such a short time on Earth that there's many people that don't want to waste that time being controlled by another. So they're ready to shirk the dollar, get rid of the petrodollar domination. And that is a threat to anyone holding dollars. So this is why I speak about this so often. Like I said, I'm trying to ring the alarm bells so at least people can take preparatory steps. Preparation is everything, you know. See the punches coming before the boxer even throws the punch, just based on the motion of the feet and the shoulder movements, reading of the rhythm. It's cause and effect. And then maybe you can bob and weave, you know, and dodge some blows. That's life. But so many people are going to get caught unaware, you know, off center. And if something does occur, it you know, hopefully it won't be too bad. I'll just put it that way. But I'm trying to let people know. Here we go here. Let's just read this little tidbit here. As revealed by Emi Yoshikawa, Ripple's VP, corporate strategy and operations, enthusiasts of Ripple can now make payments for goods and services using crypto bar P2P. So you're going to see, look, you're going to see this in a lot of places with XRP, XLM coming up. The rest of the world is going to be embracing cryptocurrency over the next 2 years, in my humble opinion. I mean, en masse. I just see it happening. There's too much freedom there. There's too much money to be made. Too much money to be saved for them to pass up on that opportunity. I definitely would not if I were in certain positions and such like that. And you know what, if Ripple wins this lawsuit, you're going to see this happen in the United States as well. I believe firmly that XLM Stellar is going to dominate in the United States, I believe. I really, really do. But they're going to have to get on the ground. Since they said that they're the people's coin, they said that they want to bank the unbanked and underbanked. There's a ton of underbanked in the United States. So when the lawsuit is over and there's regulatory clarity and, the bank coins are safe at that particular time, let's say they do sweeping regulations and now the bank coins are safe, then I expect to see Stellar in every suburb, in every urban neighborhood, everywhere advertising for those underbanked. It should be underbanked everywhere around the world. If you're going to help the people across the board, right? That's what I expect to see. But if they do that, I expect them to dominate. All of these places where individuals are using check cashers. They don't trust banks. They don't use banks for whatever reason. There's check cashers everywhere. XLM can dominate there. Check cashers are taking a ton of money from people's paychecks. But if you have a Stellar wallet, you can have your paycheck deposited in those Stellar wallets for almost nothing, less than a penny, right? You can move your value back and forth. You issue some wallets where they're trying to do what Ledger, I believe Ledger is going to be doing, where they have the Ledger card and stuff like that. And you can just use your Ledger and the fiat or whatever you want, crypto off of your Ledger with the card. That's something that they can do with Stellar wallets and things like that. Whoever's building on Stellar, whoever's building on XLM. And I think that they can dominate, but that's what I'm going to expect. XRP, I'm not looking at it in that way, obviously, because they are for the banks specifically. Don't get me wrong. XLM has a ton of banks that they're working with, but XRP is a bank coin through and through. So I expect XRP at some point to begin that rapid rise. And yes, it's going to shatter. It's going to shatter $3, $4, $5, $8. It's going to just shatter those prices easily. That's not even a question in my mind, right? So, but it's because the banks are going to step in. All of that volume going across. People were shocked at a high volume recently. But here's the thing. Now, just imagine a high volume with a high average transaction value. Just imagine that. That price will skyrocket. And skyrocket means something different to everyone. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. You have to make up your own mind at what price you think it can go to. If you want to continue to hold, sell, whatever, you'll feel comfortable making your own decisions, right? And not having someone else control you like you're a robot. Sell now, buy now. Like, no, absolutely not. That's not what we're in crypto for. We're in crypto for financial freedom, correct? Like to make a ton of money. And whose judgment should you trust better than your own? Keep the power in your hands. Don't give up your power. So let's move on to this next article here. This is on finbold.com. Ripple has spent over $100 million on legal fees fighting the SEC, the CEO says. Mr. Garlinghouse. Now, would they spend that much money if you believe, do you believe that they would spend that much money if they believe they were going to lose? Absolutely not. I feel like they're going to win. I'm so close to saying I know they're going to win. 100%. That's how I feel. I feel like 99.999%. I'm fluctuating right there, I don't put it past the legacy system to try to, do something very, very corrupt. As we read the article recently where they said that the SEC would take it to federal levels. Who knows if that's true or not? We'll wait. We'll have to wait and see. But I believe that XRP will win this case. And when they do, there's going to be a flood of money coming in. I can't wait. I just want to have some fun. I know it's going to take time. It's going to be some years. We have 3 to 5 years. Okay, I think it's going to be 5. To be quite honest, for setting up infrastructure, just bearing witness to how bad everything is out there in the world right now. And looking at monetary policy is even worse than their infrastructure. So that's going to need some retooling. And so that's going to take time as well. So let's read this little tidbit here. This is from finbold.com. They're doing a great job over there on Finbold. Make sure you check them out. Support the people that are working hard. It says the chief executive officer of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, has acknowledged the financial cost of the company's engagement in a lawsuit with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Garlinghouse said in a recent interview that Ripple would have spent more than $100 million on legal expenses by the time the litigation is resolved. According to the chief executive officer of Ripple, the astronomical costs associated with engaging in a legal fight with the SEC have always worked in favor of the securities regulator. Of course, they a lot of institutions do this. They go to court and they try to force you to spend money until you have no more money to spend. And then, of course, you're going to lose once you don't have any more money to spend on lawyers and, fighting your case. A lot of governmental entities do that because they have an unlimited amount of money to tap into. So they use that against you. It's one of their techniques. However, I will say this, it's definitely worth it, because knowing where XRP can go and the beauty of Ripple being a for-profit company, they know they're going to see much more than what they're spending as a return on investment, or money that they're going to make, however you want to phrase that, from XRP. When it skyrockets, they're going to make so much money that this is nothing compared to what they're going to bring in. Absolutely nothing. A drop in the bucket. XRP's price is going to skyrocket, and Ripple has been taking a very, very wise position in the utilization of XRP and XRPL, and it's going to be a very, very good thing. You have all of these banks set up for intra-bank payments. That is a lot of money. They're constantly bringing new banks on board also. I can't recall. We did cover an article. This was maybe a few videos back where they were bringing in even more banks. So I expect that to actually increase, the rate at which they're bringing in banks to increase once they win the lawsuit. Remember, there's a lot of banks on the side watching. So as an example, we had the SBI Africa. SBI Africa literally came out and told everyone, hey, we're salivating at the mouth to use XRP, but we're waiting on a positive victory out of that lawsuit before we start utilizing XRP. Now, if SBI is saying that, they're iterating a sentiment that is shared amongst a lot of different financial institutions, where they're waiting on the side and they're hoping for a positive outcome, and then they're going to go all in on XRP. XRP, no doubt about it, no question, is the chosen one amongst all of the bank coins. Don't get me wrong, all the bank coins are receiving love from the banking system. They're all a part of the new monetary system, the new financial system. However, XRP is the most beloved because of on-demand liquidity. Now, speaking about liquidity, I have been saying for a long time that there is a liquidity crisis coming. You can see it. Now, in one of the videos I released yesterday, and I had to release two yesterday because I didn't cover a lot of information in the first one, which I actually released the first video last. Then I released the second video first because it had more topics. It had Algorand in it. It had XRP and I believe Quant also. So I figured I would give the people something first where it has a more diverse amount of crypto that I'm talking about. But anyway, in that video, I was talking about deflation and why it's so devastating. I put a little information piece up there. You already see it happening where there's so many companies laying people off. Companies are going to have to fire a ton of people, and they're not, no level is safe, right? So you see this even in crypto. Coinbase laying people off, a lot of other big exchanges laying people off, but this is happening to companies everywhere. Tesla is laying people off. Facebook, Meta, they're calling themselves Meta now, is laying people off. Deflation is devastating, and it's just beginning. So that's why I have been saying all year, be careful of deflation. Prepare yourselves just in case, right? Because so we're in a rapid deceleration period. So just keep your eyes open for that. Protect yourself at all times. Protect your money and protect your life at all times, especially if you work for a company. Stay privy and abreast of what's going on within that company. Even go on the internet and search and read articles so you know what's going on. Because as you see from the top and the bottom, they're laying people off left and right. And these people sometimes are not even having notice. They come in and they just say, hey, listen, your time is up. At least that's what the articles are saying, right? So I just want to put that out there. But monetary policy is going to have to change. This is one of the reasons bank coins are definitely going to flourish, because they can save. They act as a liquidity cushion for the governments, for the central banks, that on-demand liquidity can create the biggest liquidity pool mankind has ever seen. If you read the XRP white papers, you'll see where they say on Ripple.com that all of the banks will pool their money into XRP. XRP is literally the liquidity pool. It is the liquidity, right? So what does it do to that price when you have over 500 financial institutions pooling their money into XRP? Even if they don't do it that way, you have that way, but then what if they all take chunks of XRP off the market? Then there's only a tiny bit of XRP, or whatever's left is all that you hold. That's it. What does it do to the price of XRP? Either way, that price is going to skyrocket. And no one can predict what the price is going to be. That's not possible. We've never dealt with an asset like this. We've never dealt with an asset that had over like 400 to 500 financial institutions or banks signed up to use it. Never. So there is no one who can say, well, it can't go here, but it can go here. No, that's nonsense. That's not logical. And I understand the minds of people who want this control to know. They want to know something so badly that they go against logic, where all the evidence is there that says, we don't know where this is going to go. We don't know what the possibilities are. There's never been anything like it before. What other asset has ever had this many partnerships with the banks? The only comparable asset would be the SDR, and the SDR is not fully comparable to XRP, because SDR immediately went into a position of power with the IMF, and then once they pegged it to 0.88 grams of gold, became special drawing rights. They issue it to different entities and such like that. It became limited. Their control and lack of decentralization, their control over the SDRs necessarily limited it, which when you look at XRP, it's not limited at all. It has all the powers of the SDR without any of the limitations of the SDR. That's unheard of. This is what you're dealing with. I saw an individual, I can't remember who, my apologies. There was an individual, maybe it was on Twitter, who said that we are privileged or something like that to have XRP, or we're in a special class or something like that. I agree with that 100%. 100%. Let's read this next next article here. This is on the cryptobasic.com. It's titled, "As Ripple versus SEC Lawsuit Approaches a Conclusion, XRP sees massive surge in trading volume." That is nothing. You just wait until there's a high transaction volume. Even if you had a few banks utilizing XRP, which is not going to happen, it's going to be a massive amount of banks. This is why they're all talking about Ripple. This is why they're all talking about XRP, which is, if you pay attention, so many articles are written like that, right? So many transcripts and PDFs, but they go under the radar unless they're uncovered by people like myself and other researchers. Subscribers on this channel also uncover a ton of documents, by the way. I wish they had YouTube channels. I really do. But unless they're uncovered, shh, nobody knows about them. Nobody hears them. The news doesn't talk about them. The mainstream, no one cares. Why are they kept so quiet? All of them are talking about Ripple, XRP, XLM, all of the companies that we've uncovered. No one talks about them. There's a reason for that. They don't want retail in here. There's going to be a mass shakeout coming. What? We'll get into that another time. But the volume, imagine that with the low end of interbank payments on XRP, the low end of interbank payments, everyone's seen the documents. I say this quite often, $400,000. Just imagine the high volume with an average somewhere around there. If we're really going to be doing interbank payments, which is what XRP is designed for. It's not just cross-border payments. We're talking about interbank payments. $400,000 minimum. What does it do to the price of XRP? Then on the high end, you're talking about north of $1 million interbank payments. What does it do to the price of XRP? People are not taking this into account. But they should. They definitely should. They should look at those documents. Break down those documents. Add all of those amounts into your calculation. Then you tell me what XRP's price is going to be. It's going to be disgusting. Nothing has ever done what XRP is going to do, in my humble opinion. As far as how much value is going to be moving, you cannot put a limitation on what's going to be possible when we've never seen this type of thing happen before, which is going to happen. It says in a tweet Saturday, Sentiment Feed reports a strange occurrence on the XRP network on Friday as it saw a rapid surge in trading volume of up to $18.7 billion. Nothing that we might see It says, oh, oops, sorry about that. Noting that we might see some exciting price movements this weekend. Quote, XRP network saw a major anomaly to the end of the week. Really is a major anomaly, even though you know what they're doing. You know price suppression is real. You know it's for banks and not retail. You know, there's so many reasons. They're going to be testing these things, right? There's certain mechanisms you can't input to test the XRPL out without it completely affecting the price, right? But anyway, maybe that's not what happened. But let's continue on here. XRP trading volume in the final hour of Friday. Also, timing is a factor. Timing and length of duration that you're going to be in the market while you're doing that, while that volume lasts, right? So that all matters. But we'll keep an eye on the price and see if I'm right or wrong. I could be completely wrong. It says this may be worth monitoring for some unordinary upcoming weekend price action. Let's scroll down, just read just a tiny little bit more. The specific reason for the flurry of activity remains unclear. What I just iterated, I believe that's probably what's going on. However, it is worth noting that this week has seen a lot of positive Ripple news. As reported by the Crypto Basic, the blockchain payment solution firm scored a big win in their case with the US SEC. You believe that that's the reason the volume went up? Because of there's been so many positive activities within this SEC case for Ripple, and yet nothing has happened with XRP price. You know, it doesn't even matter. Like, these prices now mean nothing. They mean nothing. They're all a gift. There's so many people coming into the bank coins now, and you know what? I'm going to go against the grain, and nobody should ever be satisfied with how much XRP they have. That's how I feel. I mean, you believe that there's a such thing as being too rich? You want to worry one day about I mean, you should move yourself so far away from the worries of life by having so much in assets that once they do go off, you are in such a comfortable and secure position. Your father, your mother, your children never ever, or for generations, have to worry about anything again. You are literally the Lord of your world. At that point, you can move anywhere, buy anything you want that's necessary. Farmland, maybe, I mean, some of you are going to have enough money. You probably could buy some water, stuff like that, bodies of water, things that are essential. So that, always your money is secure. I mean, so I don't believe there's ever a point where if prices remain where they are and they're below all-time highs, that there's ever having enough. People can accumulate as much as you want, and as much as makes you feel secure, and doesn't actually is not actually coming from money that's going to be detrimental to you in your life. That's how I feel. You make the decisions that are best for you. So many people are like, no, I already had enough. Well, that's okay. That's good for you. And I hope you make a ton of money. Other people may not feel like that, but there's so many people that want to force their way of thinking on others. They have this issue. I don't feel that way. I do what I do, and I respect what other people do, but I'm hoping everyone is free in making their own decisions. I'm all about freedom, right? So if you feel like you have enough, cool. If you feel like you want to accumulate some more, I believe that that's good as well. In my humble opinion, not financial advice. However, none of these prices matter, in my humble opinion, until those banks step in. All of this is a gift. It's the same thing with Quant. It's the same thing with Quant. You see what Quant's price is doing? Recently was at 44. People bought a ton of Quant at $40. I've been saying this lately, but as an example, imagine if they're utilized by all of those banks they have lined up. Where's Quant's price going to go? Everything until that time is a gift. Everything until that time. And Quant is going to explode more than most. It's only 13 million of them. That's it. Every transaction that happens on Quant Network, which is an agnostic blockchain or whatever they want to call it, it can move to any blockchain. It's not tethered to Ether. I don't want to use the word tether, no pun intended. It's not permanently bonded to Ethereum. It's not. It can move anywhere. So they're only utilizing Ethereum now because it's popular and it's one of the most widely used blockchains. That's it. But every transaction on Quant network is done in Q and T. Raise the toe. That price is going to raise. Raise the toe. That price is going to raise when it comes to XRP, Quant, XLM. You are the new kings and queens of the world. You know, I'm proud of you. I really am. I'm proud of you. I hope you all do well. Continue to do good in life. Stay healthy. Drink water, exercise, take your vitamin, get a multivitamin. This is not health advice. It's not health advice. But I hope people are taking care of themselves, man. So you can enjoy what is to come. We have to make it to there. We have to make it there. So this is why I titled the video. It was no offense to anyone, but the strong are going to make it. You are the strong. Everyone's sitting out there watching this video right now. You're the strong. It starts here in the mind. Your mind, your strength of mind, your willpower brought you here. And to every other YouTuber that you watch to accumulate information, it takes strength and will that most people don't have to look into things like this. And then to activate, to apply the will to be able to wait long enough for you to see the fruits of your labors. You planted the seed, you wait for the tree to grow, and then it pours down the apples. That all takes time. I said pour down the apples, releases the apples. You know what I mean? That takes a tremendous amount of strength. So when I say the strong will make it, I'm talking about you. It doesn't matter the technique that you use. The fact that you're here right now means that you are the strong of the strong. You are the select group, the chosen ones. It's not the crypto really that's going to take you there. It's you that took you there. You, your actions, your thoughts, your strength of mind and heart. You. Because without that, you wouldn't have come across XLM, XRP, Quant, Cello, Algorand. It was you the whole time. So always remember that. Keep strength of mind, strength of heart. And when I say the strong are going to make it, I'm talking about you. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.